Hi everyone, welcome to the next chapter. This is a show created by the Westboro Council on Aging. We will be featuring one show a month with people and topics that focus on issues of interest to our seniors here in Westboro. My name is Carolyn MacLeod. I'm a member of the council and will be your host in the coming months. This month's chapter focuses on what happens when you dial 911. Our guest today is Westboro's Fire Chief Patrick Purcell. Welcome, Chief Purcell.
Thank you for having me.
Why don't you tell us sort of how you got started in this business of firefighting?
So when I was growing up young, my father joined the fire department in the town of Oxford in like 1977. So I was young at that point in my life, but I was inspired by watching him get up and leave our home and go to fires and serve the community. And as I got a little bit older, I started to hang out in fire stations in the late 70s and the early 80s, and took advantage of an opportunity to join as a call firefighter in 1989. So I was fortunate to serve in that capacity, as well as a career in EMS prior to getting here in Westboro, and it really kind of drove my career from there.
That sounds lovely. Thank you very much for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
So today we're going to be talking about what happens when you dial 911. I kind of think that knowledge is power.
Sure.
So the more people know, the better off they'll be in a crisis situation. So tell us.
So I think to help you better understand like what goes on when you dial 911, you have to know a little bit of the makeup of the dispatch center. So in Westboro, the Public Safety 911 Center is managed by the fire department. And we handle all the calls for police, fire, and EMS and animal control. It's also, we do a little bit of regional work for animal control with Shrewsbury and Grafton. And at all times, there are a minimum of 2 dispatchers working. So it's usually 2 dispatchers, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So when somebody dials 911, and it doesn't actually matter where they are, the 911 system is it's not a Westboro system, it's a state system. It's called Next Gen 911. And it has a lot of technology built into it that help us to serve the community better. So if you dial 911, and it hits like a cell phone tower in Westboro, or it's a landline in Westboro, it rings into the fire station. We have both dispatchers answer. One will actually triage a call, and the other one will silent monitor. By silent monitoring that call, we save a lot of time with deploying public safety resources, whether it's police or fire or EMS. So as a person might be on the phone with a caller, the other one is sending out maybe the ambulance and a fire truck to a car accident, or the police department for some kind of a police incident. So a caller that is on the phone may feel like they're delaying a response time, but they're really not. They're trying to provide information to the caller, find out exactly where they are, give them some instructions that they can do to help before public safety gets there, and all at the same time we're already driving there. Some of the features that they take advantage of when you dial 911 is there's a mapping program, so we can tell within 3 meters where a person is calling from. So if you're in the woods, we're able to geolocate that person.
Wow.
If they're on the Mass Turnpike, we can pinpoint and see what mile marker they're at or they're calling from. It's a really diverse tool. There's also a component where we can use TTY to talk to people that have a hard of hearing, and we also take text to 911 calls. So if there was like a domestic violence issue and somebody was like unable to make a call that somebody would hear from another room, they can text 911 and we can triage the call that way. One of the biggest benefits when you dial 911 is if it's a medical problem, all of our dispatchers are trained to and are required to provide emergency medical dispatch. So if we have somebody that's not breathing, they can instruct them how to do CPR if they don't know how to do it. Somebody is choking.
Over the phone?
Over the phone. They can tell people, okay, stay on the phone with me, I'm going to tell you what to do. And they'll help with like somebody that's choking to clear an airway. So really the dispatchers are like the first responder. They've been instrumental in this community with saving lives. They've helped to assist people delivering babies. I mean, it's really a good program, and I believe it contributes to better outcomes when people have medical events.
So at one point, I think I heard a conversation that Westboro was going to be combined with other towns as a central dispatch area. Whatever happened to that? Or
so it's still in the works. We have the town has secured, I believe, about $14 million in grant funding. We've already hired the executive director to oversee that. There's a memorandum of understanding with Grafton, Southborough, and Westborough. The town has been gracious enough to let us use the Harvey Building at 20 Phillip Street.
Yes.
And we're very soon going to be going out to bid to start the demolition and not demolishing the building, just
Right.
demolishing
Get it
the
ready.
inside, to get it ready and to start the construction to actually build that building. So I believe we had another grant allotment coming that we were awarded for another 1.8 million in July, and really it's going well. We've been working on getting a new system for computer automated dispatch. We're going to upgrade our radio system so we can all talk together, talk to each other in
between the towns?
Yep. So like we'll be sharing radio systems and putting a radio plan together, and it's really starting to progress in a positive way.
That sounds really good.
Yeah.
So it's Westboro, Southborough, and
Grafton.
And Grafton. Okay, great. So what percentage of your calls are like medical versus fire? Do you have any sort of handle on that?
Are we talking about through the dispatch center or?
Yes.
So the dispatch center handles about 35,000 phone calls per year. Of the 35,000, 8,000 are 911 calls. Of the 8,000 911 calls, close to 85% are for the ambulance. If you can believe that, it's a pretty high number.
Nothing to do with fire.
No, so we do, and that statistic kind of works out because for fire, the fire department, 75% of our calls are EMS calls and 25% are fire calls. Those ambulances that we have, they pretty much run around the clock. Two of them are usually on the road 24/7. They do a lot of work.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. And you cover, besides Westboro, you also cover a section of the Mass Pike and a section of 495, is that right?
The sections that are in Westboro, yes.
Yeah.
So that's we are the jurisdictionally responsible to respond to Westboro. Doesn't matter where it is, even if it's a state highway. So we go to either the Mass Turnpike or Interstate 495 pretty much every day.
Every day?
Yes.
Something's going on.
Yeah.
Every day.
Every day. Yeah, there's a high resource demand on those highways, and it's a little bit difficult to respond there because they're limited access highways. There's
Right.
no fire hydrants on there, so we have a lot of car fires up there, a lot of car accidents.
Ooh.
Every day.
Yeah. How do you, this is off topic, but how do you deal with electric car fires?
So really, the only way to really fully extinguish an electric vehicle fire is thermal destruction. So you would have to essentially let it burn. Fortunately, we have we have a lot of water on the fire truck. There's about 1,000 gallons of water on the fire truck. So we can put it out initially. It's keeping it out that's the problem.
Oh.
So we have plans with and agreements with the towing companies when they remove it from the scene. They have to have a large enough storage yard where they can put it off to a side, not near a building, not near any other vehicles.
Because it could
Yes, and it has. We've had an incident on the Mass Turnpike where a towing company from Southwell removed it, and then it actually caught fire again in their parking lot, in their storage area. Actually, this is when electric vehicles were newer. It was in their building. So,
Ooh.
yeah, we had that incident that happened.
Not good. Not good at
No.
all. So I know that you said this. There's an issue with this, but I had found this on my bulletin board at my complex,
Sure.
Orchard Hill, and it said, "Are you okay?" And I was reading it, and it sounds like a really good program. It's designed basically for people who live alone. And tell us what happened.
So we put a program together, and as you are exactly right, it was designed for people that live alone, and it was a program that was an automated phone system. You could sign up, and it would call your house whatever time you wanted daily, one time. And if your phone rang, you would answer it. You would hit a key. The program was called Are You Okay? And that's what we're doing, making sure everybody wakes up. We all want to wake up in the morning. Make sure you wake up in the morning and you hit one for yes, all set. If you didn't answer because you were in the shower or something, it would call you back in 10 or 15 minutes. And if you didn't answer a second time, we would send the fire truck to your house, no lights or sirens, drive up, knock on the door, make sure you're okay. Sometimes it was an oversight, but sometimes people fall in the middle of the night and they just can't get up. So our theory was we'd be able to pick them up and provide medical evaluation and see if they needed to go to the hospital. But the program, as well as it was designed, and we had 0 people sign up for it. So it was really a low-cost program that we put together. We were hoping to see people take more advantage of it, but it just unfortunately didn't happen.
Oh, that's too bad. I thought it sounded great.
I thought so too, but because it got recognized by Lieutenant Governor, Carolyn MacLeod, when she was in office, and she came out and did an article and combined it with like a dementia-friendly community.
Yes.
And it just never took off. Nobody ever signed up.
Oh no, that's too bad. Maybe we could maybe it could get resurrected at some point. So that's kind of cool. So now I want to talk about lock boxes a little bit. My community made a push at one point for everybody to install a lockbox. I have one. The issue is that people move, and I have new neighbors, and they're like, "What's this thing near my door?" And I said, "Oh, that's a lockbox, and it has a key." And they're like, "Yeah, but we changed the lock." So what do they need to do?
So the program is that if you want to put a secure key box on the front of your house, that permits the fire department to gain access to your house without breaking a door or a window. So you would go through the senior center. They are out of the boxes right now. It is my responsibility to order them, which I have to reorder them today. So they would come to your house and install the box. We would put your house key in it, and the fire department is the only person that has the key to your secure key box. We take the security of people's homes very seriously. We have a retention system in the front of our fire apparatus, and everybody has their own individual code. So we have keys on that go into this retention system. And if the keys are out of it, a strobe flashes, so you can't really drive the truck because it flashes in your face. And to make sure the keys go back. And so we would take the key out of that, open the secure box, and be able to access your house without breaking anything. What happens when people move is they oftentimes overlook the fact that the keys change. So to overcome that, you just need to call us. We'll stop by, open the box, we'll take the old key, you can put your new key in, and we put it up there, and all of that information about the fact that you have a secure key box goes into the computer automated dispatch. So when the dispatcher puts a call in at your house, it sends up an alert on a screen and tells them that you have a secure key box. So if we show up at 2 o'clock in the morning and it's dark out, we may not see it,
Yes.
but we don't want to break anything if we don't have to.
Yeah. No, the complex that I live in, we have duplexes and quads.
Sure.
And I think everybody should have one, because whatever goes on in my house is going to affect my immediate neighbor, especially in the quads with 4 units.
Right.
So I highly recommend that people call the senior center, and they put out a work order, and someone comes out and installs one in your house.
Yeah, I think it's a small charge. I think it's $60 for the box, I'm pretty sure. And but the door is a lot more. You have to
break your
down.
door or break a window.
Right.
So that sounds good. All right. So is there any other programs? Do you have some towns have a book with pictures of people that are wanderers? Do you have something like that?
So that was also part of the Are You OK program. So we do know people that have dementia, and we can put them a picture in our computer, in our CAD system. So if they are missing, the dispatchers have that ability to transmit the photo of people we're looking for to the police and the fire department on their mobile data terminals. So we can do that. If you're asking about other programs, we have a program that one of my captains does, Captain Keith Lerman. Every time he's on duty, he's out doing these, but you can have a home safety inspection done where they'll come and evaluate your carbon monoxide detectors, your smoke detectors, any fall risk issues, and he loves doing it. And you just have to call the fire station. You can ask for his extension, and he'll schedule that inspection with you.
What's his name again?
Captain Keith Lermond,
Okay.
Lermond.
Oh, I think his name is on here.
Yeah, he does
Yes.
home safety inspections. He does a great job at that. He enjoys doing it. And really, if you get us into your house and we can prevent a fall
Yes.
unnecessary, because the fall statistics for the elderly population that fall is not great if you're over 65. We don't want you to get hurt or killed in a fire, so we want to make sure your detection system is working, make sure the house is visible from the front with a number. He has a whole checklist that he does, but it's a great program, and people do take advantage of that. But I recommend everyone takes advantage of it.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was possible. So
Yes.
thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So on that note, it kind of brings us to the end of this chapter. Thank you, Chief Purcell. This has been very informative. Thank you very much. It's great news for our viewers. And to our viewers, don't forget to tell your friends and neighbors about our show, The Next Chapter. We have an interesting topic coming up in August, how to successfully downsize and move. I hope you join us. In the meantime, stay well.
Thanks. Have a great day.
All right. It was a pleasure. Thank you very much.